Well, this is a video that's going to tell you what people like supposedly are truthers ignore. This is something more, it's maybe going to be boring, it's not going to be very entertaining, but you know, it goes to show you exactly what goes on in the United States of America. And this is an actual document. I'm going to point to the link down in the information box from the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union. And it's about the East Mississippi Correctional Facility. It's a public document near Meridian, Mississippi. Supposedly it was the facility intended to provide treatment for Mississippi's seriously mentally ill prisoners in a safe, humane, and therapeutic environment. But actually the opposite is very much true. You won't hear this from Alex Jones, you won't hear this from David Icke, and I'm going to actually make some other observations about religion in this video. So if you feel offended about that, don't go taking it out on me. Why don't you go take it out on these bastards and barbarians that are actually doing this horrible things to these people. It turns out there's grossly inhumane conditions, right? That, of course, their prisoners, that's the allegation in this lawsuit, have lost their health, their limbs, their eyesight, and even their lives. What's going on is actually they have so many rats in the facility that, and mice, broken toilets and everything like that, that they're even selling the rats to each other on improvised leashes as pets. And this is supposed to be a place that's supposed to improve the mental facilities of people who have severe mental problems. So I'm actually going to say that it's basically they don't have lights, they don't have clean facilities, broken toilets. You know, there's all kinds of you know, solitary confinement. They put them in prisoners in the dead man zone, the dead area, because they don't want to supervise them, or they don't want to have bother with their basic needs. So this is typical. But you know, and here's where I'm going to throw my opinion in on this. You know, there's so many people that talk about you know, religion in this country. This is the Bible Belt, Mississippi. Where's all the cult churchgoers? You know, they're going, I mean, these are probably people that are descendants of plantation owners that used to whip slaves back in the day, and now they're running another type of gulag concentration camp at a profit, probably being paid for by taxpayers. I'm sure it's being paid for by taxpayers because it's a correctional facility for the mentally impaired. So they even are give, you know, obviously when they're living in these kind of conditions, you know, they lack even rudimentary mental health treatment, which even if they got it, it'd probably be bad, because the kind of drugs they give people, in my opinion, screw people's mental health up a lot of times. They really do. Life-threatening infections, all kinds of stuff, because it's an extremely filth-ridden area, especially in the solitary confinement. Rapes, stabbings, beatings, and other acts of violence, like they'll throw feces, shit at each other and things like this. There's all kinds of horrendous things, and a lot of people who are Christians ignore this. But you know, I'm gonna point this out again, because I point this out many times. I know in all groups of people there are imperfections, and it's like a human element. There's all types of religions that have people in them that are no good. But you know, these are not run by Jews. It's not run by Jews. If it was, this would be all over the news on every single right-wing anti-Semitic publication out there, pointing out that a Jew was running this. But it's not. It's run by the Bible. It's run in the Bible Belt, in the Christian Bible Belt. But you know, where's Alex Jones on this? Where's the alternative media? Where's Abby, what's her face, from Russia Today? You know, they don't tell you nothing about this. Oh, they might, because it's in America. You know, if it's in Russia, they won't tell you about it. You know, that's the deal with them. But a lot of times these things are going on, and supposedly the alternative media, the truthers, they ignore these type of things. But they don't ignore them if somebody was Jewish who's involved in it. I'm putting that out here because, you know, I'm not Jewish. I'm not 100% on the side of Jews or anything like that. But I also see when it's a fundamentalist type Christian doing this kind of garbage, they ignore it, because it's the good old boy network. It's the big, it's the big guys. You know, it's the good old boy network, and they're getting paid by the government, which is actually the taxpayers and other Christians and churchgoers to pay for all this kind of garbage. So, here's the lawsuit. You can read it, because I don't want to actually ad lib on this too much. I don't want to give you an article that talks about it. You can read exactly what's being alleged by the supposed, the ACLU, which, a lot of people say, hey, the ACLU is no good and all this kind of garbage. A lot of conservative people say that. But, sometimes I agree with that because the ACLU gets a little ridiculous sometimes with some things. But they are 100% right about this. But, I think to myself, where's all the churchgoers been? The hypocrites for Christ, I call them. Where have they been for the last umpteen years when all this stuff was going on? They didn't know about it? They didn't know about it, right? Oh, BS. Because, that's why, I just can't freaking see the validity of what they say 99% of the time, because they will ignore these type of things. They will. But, if a woman is walking down the street in shorts that are too short, oh, they go all over the conniptions. They go nuts. They go nuts about any little stupid detail there is. But something like this, where there's actually like a Nazi concentration camp going on in freaking Mississippi, run by holy Christians. I don't want to maybe put it out that extreme, but they're not Jewish. They're not Jewish, right? Nobody's doing nothing about it. And all the churches, and it's the whole Bible Belt. That area is the Bible Belt. And, everybody's like, nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing. And you take an organization like the ACLU, which has a lot of Jewish members, they're fighting the freaking remedy to this. It's so damn obvious it shouldn't even have to be a lawsuit. This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. It shouldn't even gotten 1/10 the way to this. They're doing the exact opposite for these people who need mental health treatment than, is in supposedly their mission that they get paid for by the government. The garbage. The garbage. It's the good old boy network. And the more things change, the more things they stay the same. Good old boy network. It's still rampant in the South. They got a lot of rotten people that profess to be followers of Christ. So that's my opinion on that, but that's now maybe not your opinion. But this is something I find where a lot of times where people, but like I said, I want to leave you with this thought. If this was run by Jews, this would be all over every single right-wing group out there. And I lean more right-wing in some ways, but not against Jews. Not against Jews. I lean right-wing when it's about protecting the individual rights of all Americans, about making sure the Bill of Rights especially is the law of the land. And obviously these people's rights are being violated big time. So you're not going to hear nothing by the big boys like Alex Jones. He'll say nothing about this because, I don't know, they got other stupid they got conspiracy theories to worry about. They got other things to worry about. Drones in the sky. This is real. I mean, yeah, there's drones, I know. But what I'm saying is, this is real. This is something that's so obvious that if it was brought to light, it would stop in a minute. And the people that are running this place, they ought to be charged with murder and get the electric chair. Because they didn't just kill these people. They torture people to death for profit. So they're worse than Nazis.